Our other big stories, the king of pop has died.
And the Associated Press are now reporting Michael Jackson has died.
That Michael Jackson has died.
AJ, CNN can now confirm from the LA coroner that Michael Jackson is dead.
June 25th, 2009, the world lost a legend. Michael Jackson, the man known as the King of Pop, passed away at the age of 50, leaving behind an extraordinary career and millions of mourning fans. His voice, his influence, his art, they all seemed eternal. But now, 15 years after his death, his legacy is as divisive as it is iconic. To some, he remains a timeless idol. To others, a shadow tainted by disturbing allegations. Today, we dive into this controversial side of his story by revisiting one of the most publicized trials of the century. In the 1980s, Michael Jackson became more than just an artist. He became a revolution. With Thriller, he shattered every record and redefined pop music. His videos like Thriller and Beat It were no longer just music clips. They were cinematic art. The world discovered the legendary moonwalk, an iconic move that would define a generation. Concert after concert, Michael confirmed his status as a global phenomenon, gathering huge crowds with influence that transcends borders. But behind the genius was a man growing increasingly isolated, crushed by fame and constantly scrutinized by the media. At the height of his career, storm clouds began to gather. His personal life fascinated and unsettled in equal measure. The war with the press had begun, and in his quest for peace, Michael built something extraordinary, a refuge that would become both a symbol of wonder and controversy: Neverland. At his peak, Michael created Neverland, a massive ranch complete with a private amusement park. It was his sanctuary, a place where he could finally be the child he never got to be. More than that, it became a safe haven for troubled kids. But soon questions emerged. Why was a grown man spending so much time with children? As the years passed, his image changed. Numerous surgeries, eccentric behavior, and rumors about his private life began to cast shadows over his music. Then in 1993, the curiosity turned into shock, with a scandal that changed everything. Jordan Chandler, a 13-year-old boy, accused Michael of sexual abuse. The case ended in a $23 million settlement, but the doubt lingered. Michael gave an emotional statement from Neverland denying everything. Was he innocent, or did he pay to avoid the truth? Either way, his career would never be the same. Over the next few years, Michael released new music, but the magic was fading. The media relentlessly pursued him. Financial troubles mounted. Neverland, once a dreamland, became haunted by rumors. Michael agreed to the Living with Michael Jackson documentary, hoping to rebuild his image. But it backfired. When he spoke about his closeness to children, public opinion shifted sharply. Soon after, Gavin Arvizo, a young cancer survivor, accused Michael of abuse.
Ah, shit. Here we go again.
Gavin, then 13, had visited Neverland for comfort and support. But in 2003, the Arvizo family accused Michael of sexual abuse and false imprisonment. The world was stunned. The King of Pop, adored by millions, was suddenly portrayed as a predator. The headlines exploded. The world watched. The charges were serious: giving alcohol to a minor, sexual misconduct, and psychological manipulation. If convicted, Jackson faced up to 20 years in prison. As soon as the charges surfaced, police raided Neverland. Images of law enforcement swarming the magical ranch made global headlines. Inside, investigators found adult magazines and items labeled as disturbing. Although not directly linked to Gavin, they fueled public suspicion. The prosecution tried to strengthen their case by referencing the 1993 Chandler case, painting Jackson as a repeat offender. This was more than a trial. It was a global spectacle. Every day, reporters swarmed the courthouse, analyzing every move. Michael arrived with security, sometimes in a wheelchair, sometimes in pajamas, always under the spotlight. The world was split. Was Michael a victim of extortion or a predator who finally got caught? Led by prosecutor Tom Sneddon, the state portrayed Michael as manipulative and dangerous. Gavin testified in chilling detail, recounting alleged abuse. His mother claimed Michael held them captive and used his fame to control them. The prosecution painted a damning picture, but Michael's legal team, led by Thomas Mesereau, pushed back hard. They exposed inconsistencies in the Arvizo family's story. The family had a history of trying to extort other celebrities, including Chris Tucker and Jay Leno. Janet Arvizo's erratic behavior and conflicting testimony weakened the prosecution. Key witnesses, employees, friends, described Jackson as eccentric but kind and harmless. The trial turned into a legal drama with unforgettable scenes. Macaulay Culkin, the child famous for being home alone, testified saying he spent nights at Neverland and Jackson never acted inappropriately. As the trial neared its end, emotions ran high. Fans hoped for a miracle. Critics expected justice. This verdict would define not only Michael's fate, but also his legacy. As the trial progressed, cracks in the prosecution's case widened. Testimonies didn't match. Doubt crept into the courtroom. Mesereau focused on one strategy: reasonable doubt. Reasonable doubt means the jury can't be sure someone is guilty. If there's a real reason to think they might not have done it, they must say not guilty. As defense lawyers, we look for those doubts to protect our client. He didn't need to prove innocence, just plant uncertainty. And it worked. All this was made possible by a few crucial testimonies. Macaulay Culkin's defense of Jackson carried serious weight. Neverland employees testified that the Arvizos were never held against their will. Finally, other witnesses described Michael as naive, not malicious. The prosecution's physical evidence, like magazines, had no direct link to the alleged crimes. Medical tests revealed no signs of abuse, and Michael appeared more and more fragile in court, but remained firm.
I'm not perfect, but I am not the monster they say I am.
The jury didn't need proof of innocence, just enough doubt, and Mesereau gave them plenty. The courtroom was tense. The fate of a global icon hung in the balance. Fans waited outside, breathless. Inside, the jury deliberated in silence. The world held its breath. This wasn't just a legal decision, it was a cultural turning point. After weeks of testimony and years of speculation, the jury returns. Not guilty. Michael was acquitted, but he would never be the same. Michael walks out of court a free man, but his health deteriorated. His career never recovered. Neverland, once his dream, became a ghost of his past. To his fans, he's a victim of fame and greed. To others, the doubts remain. In a morning of June 2009, the world had no idea it was about to lose a legend. In a quiet Los Angeles mansion, Michael Jackson lay unresponsive, his heartbeat silenced by a fatal mix of drugs. Paramedics rushed in. The media gathered, but it was too late. The king of pop was gone. The man who changed music forever had taken his final bow. Even after death, documentaries like Leaving Neverland keep the debate alive. So, who was Michael Jackson, really? A broken genius scarred by childhood trauma? Or a man who escaped justice? Perhaps the full truth died with him. But one thing is clear. He remains one of the most complex, fascinating, and controversial figures in history. And you, what do you think? Was Michael Jackson guilty or innocent? Leave your thoughts below, and let's continue this discussion. Because beyond the accusations, there was a man, a story, and a legend. Wait a minute, I almost forgot. Subscribe and like so you don't miss anything.